Are you struggling with graphing equations like these? Well, don't worry because I'm going to give you 3 simple steps that you can apply to any linear equation in order to graph them. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is try and convert your equation into this format if you haven't already. Now, if it already is in this format, you don't have to worry about this step, but why is this important? Now, this format is called the slope-intercept form, and it tells us exactly that. It tells us the slope and the y-intercept. Now, what do each of these mean? Well, the slope, some of you may know as rise over run, and it essentially tells us that for the line, every one space that it moves to the right, however many it's going up. So, for example, if the slope was 3, for every one space it would move to the right, it would go 3 spaces up. And the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. So if the line crosses the y-axis at -1 right here, then this would be -1. So let's apply that with this equation up here. So I'm going to write it down real quick. Now, what we have to do here is we have to isolate the y. So what I could do first is I could subtract 4x from each side to get rid of this 4x. To get rid of this -2 in front of the y, we can just divide each side by -2. So that means that y will be equal to 2x minus 3. Now we've converted this into slope-intercept form, so I'm going to put a box around it. This will be the new equation we will use to graph this. Now, the second step in order to graph this equation is to graph the y-intercept. So let's look at our slope-intercept form. Where is the y-intercept on this? Well, it's at the plus c. So we have to locate that on our new equation. Now our plus c is -3. So that's where we're going to plot a line. We're going to plot a line on -3 on the y-axis. Or you could think of it as 0, comma -3. So, I'm start from 0, -1, -2, -3. There you go. Now our third and final step is to plot the slope. Now remember what we said about our slope, our rise over run. That for every one space it moves to the right, it goes slope amount of times up. So let's look at this. Our slope is 2. So that means for every one space that we move right, it will go 2 spaces up. So let's graph it based on this point that we already made. So we move 1 to the right and 2 up based on our slope. So the point will be 1, 2, right about there. And now you could draw the line between these 2 points. Now I'm going to use a ruler because my freehand lines aren't very good. So here it is. And that is a fully graphed line. God bless.